everyone, Jean Marie here with day 3 of the Find Your MOJO challenge. I hope that you had some time to sit with your visioning exercise, to maybe run through that meditation a few times already and play with what the possibilities are for your life, for your big vision and your why. Don't get hung up if it's not perfect right away, if you didn't even come up with anything that you liked right away. This is something, all of these things that we're working with in this challenge are things that you're gonna come back to over and over again throughout the course of this year and hopefully beyond. We hope this really becomes a toolkit for you to revisit over and over again. So I hope you had fun with your visioning exercise, with starting to work with this kind of material, because today we're going to take that big vision that we've created for ourselves and start to work backwards and break that down into some long-term goals. Now today we're going to work with 5 to 10 year goals. That is a period of time that most people seem to be fairly comfortable with as far as long-term goals and setting out specific action plans and really getting more detailed in what we want to accomplish. When we start to talk about 15, 20, maybe even 30 years down the road, things start to get a little more fuzzy and it becomes a little more difficult to set goals really specifically and to set action plans for them. So that's why we're choosing the 5 to 10 year mark as our long-term goals. You are, of course, welcome if you have a vision for 15, 20 years down the road. I've even created some space for you really long-term thinkers in the Vision by Design workbook. Please work with those. If you have a vision for it, go for it. Don't stifle it. But most of us are going to be comfortable working with the 5 to 10 year range here in the workbook. So that's what we're going to focus on today. And what we're going to use to get us started is a nice vision board exercise. Now, a lot of you have probably heard of a vision board exercise. That tends to be sort of the very pop culture thing to do when we talk about our visions or setting goals. And that's for good reason. A vision board is a nice, tangible way to work with your vision, to take it out of your mind and bring it into practical form, to something that you can see and touch and feel and hold in your hands. And the action, the act of creating a vision board is really the biggest part of the process, where you sit down and you create your vision, you produce it in a tangible form. That really does a lot for sealing it in your mind, for cementing it in all of the actions that you're going to take going forward. So if you take a look at your Vision by Design workbook in the 5 to 10 year goals section, you will see that we're prepping you for the vision board exercise. It's fairly commonplace to grab a stack of magazines in different genres that relate to your vision. So if, for example, a big piece of your long-term vision is creating a surf retreat in Costa Rica, then you would get sort of travel magazines and surfing magazines and maybe even yoga magazines, genres of images and articles that will relate to and depict your vision in crisp, accurate detail. So that's sort of the commonplace way to do a vision board, is to grab a stack of magazines, some scissors, a nice little glue stick, and some poster board, and go to town and create a big collage that represents your long-term vision for you in this moment. And some other ways that I've seen people do vision boards, I have some friends who are wonderful painters. They have painted a big canvas as their vision board, and other people are more oriented to the written word, so they will write out their vision in more detail, in more of a prosaic form. So again, this is one of those exercises that is really dependent upon a modality that resonates with you. I have suggested in your workbook what has worked really well for me thus far, what has been the best method for me, and of course, please, if something else resonates with you more strongly, absolutely do that. Again, this has to be something that you are going to enjoy doing and visiting over and over again. So I hope you'll try the vision board exercise. It's really fun. I always make it my own personal party. I, put on something comfortable and have a nice little meal, or we've even spread out a blanket and made an indoor picnic for ourselves when we've done our vision board, and we've spread out lots of snacks and our magazines and gone to town for a whole afternoon with our vision board. So I hope you'll make this your own personal party and have a lot of fun with the vision board exercise. Now, you'll also see in this 5 to 10 year goals section that we want you to really work with your vision in a more specific way. So you may want to revisit your visioning exercise from yesterday and take it from this big picture, sort of end of your journey vista, all the way back into 5 to 10 years from now. So for example, you want to take that vision that you worked on yesterday and work backwards and imagine what you need to be like in 5 to 10 years to get you to the end of your journey in the form that you envision in your mind. So this can be pretty tricky. I've asked you in the workbook to start by describing yourself. Who are you in 5 to 10?